Welcome to the News Hour. Israeli forces have targeted crowds of starving Palestinians trying to get food across the Gaza Strip. In the north, 25 people have been killed and more than 150 wounded as they tried to collect food. In total, 49 Palestinians searching for humanitarian aid have been killed by Israel's military on Wednesday. Tariq Abu Azoum is joining us on the phone from Deir el-Balah in central Gaza to tell us what you're hearing about what happened in northern Gaza.
Well, Darine, we are hearing yet again of a horrific scene unfolding in Gaza City. At least, as we understand, 25 people have been killed and more than 150 others injured after Israeli forces, opened fire on a crowd of Palestinians waiting for humanitarian aid in the northwest of the Strait, in particular, close to the Netzarim corridor where usually humanitarian trucks are delivered to the Gaza Strip, since Israel declared that they will allow for 8 trucks to reach the territory following the mounting international outrage. But people who had gathered in desperation, hoping for a bag of flour or cans of food, were completely met with gunfire. They are displaced, exhausted, and starving families. And this is not the first time, in fact, Darine, people who are seeking aid have been targeted. It, in fact, raises urgent questions about the safety of the so-called humanitarian corridors and whether a delivery under fire is even possible, despite Israel's declaration of implementing humanitarian clauses to allow for more aid to move into the Strip. But for many Palestinians at the moment in Gaza, it's a deadly gamble between hunger and being shot. And that's why we continue to see desperate crowds continue to run over, to run completely towards aid trucks. But this Israeli decision, in fact, to allow a limited number of aid trucks into Gaza may appear on paper like a humanitarian gesture, but in practice, it's a tactical move that is meant to ease political pressure and to deflect international outrage. But on the ground, what we can see, and all footage that are coming from the sites of attacks, indicate that the crisis on the ground is only deepening.
Tariq, it's not only limited to the north, because we're also hearing reports this hour that there have been Israeli forces have opened fire on Palestinians in other parts of the Gaza Strip.
That's completely correct. In the southern part of Gaza, Israel today has attacked people who are seeking aid, not just near the notorious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, but those crowds were waiting desperately to get their hands on food assistance near the Murag corridor. This area is very dangerous to approach, but families have been crushed by the spreading famine and their inability to afford their basic necessities. This is a very grim reality. People there head to the areas that have been designated for the delivery of aid supplies, and during the humanitarian pauses. And yet again, they have been attacked by the Israeli military. People on the ground are reporting horrific and chaotic scenes for the crowds of people come under fire. Israeli forces have used live ammunition. Many Palestinians, in fact, have been wounded, and they were transferred to the nearby Nasser hospital for emergency and urgent medical treatment. But the situation in Gaza's hospitals reflects that Israel is still systematically attacking people who are trying to get aid. This comes in the backdrop of the Israeli officials' statement that they are trying to deliver huge and enough amount of aid to people on the ground. And this is also reflecting the controversial reports coming also from the Israeli Prime Minister confirming that there is no starvation in Gaza. So it appears to be a tactical move to mitigate the international pressure, but at the same time, we cannot really feel that there is a tangible change in terms of the humanitarian situation. We can understand that Gaza's health ministry said that 4 Palestinians have died due to severe malnutrition and hunger in the past 24 hours. So figures are still spiraling, and the crisis yet has not been fully alleviated, given the fact that only a very limited number of aid trucks were allowed into Gaza, and most of them were looted by hungry crowds simply due to the breakdown of law and order. And on the other hand, that Israel did not till now afford an alternative safe route alternatively for aid deliveries to the Strip in a way that can guarantee that every Palestinian in need can get the amount of aid that will help him to remain alive.
Okay, thank you very much, Tariq Abazoum, reporting from Deir al-Balah in Gaza.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.